Hey, what's going on? Alright. Page number 2 of letter number 2 of Christian. I always make my intro super ridiculously long, and I have no idea if that's irritating to people or not, but I'm going to suppose it is. So let's just start right away. If you want to know what's any of this, if you're watching this, most likely you already know everything about, or a lot about Christian, a lot of these letters and all of these situations. And if not, just watch any of the other videos where I explain what I'm doing here, utilizing graphology to interpret what's going through Christian's mind right now. So let's go right now. Alright, let's do it. The future of all sunny shoes and rusted shoes under still continue immoral care and guardian watch from I and our husband. Curious. Major chance sun shoe prime for of universe 1C 21 198 Haddon C 197 before the recombination. Oh, okay, so stopping there for a moment. I have explained like every single page that Christian has written so far, all about those pastings, and those pastings in his letters right there, like in all sun choose and all rose choose, and all the R there and all that. I have explained, so I'm not gonna repeat myself. There's this in the other videos. Look, and the only thing that I'm going to notice here is that when he wrote my husband, Maggie Chan, he changed his mind and he wrote our husband. The thing that is curious for me is that I have said previously in a couple of his previous pages that when he feels personal attachment to a letter, he corrects that letter or word, and when he doesn't feel any sort of personal attachment to said word or letter, he erases it and he writes a new one. I don't know what to make of that part right there when he wrote R. I would say that our husband didn't have a lot of emotional attachment to him, but I could be wrong. I could be reading too much into that, because there was no way he could have corrected my to R, so I'm probably just reading too much into that. So moving on. I have explained a lot about the type of writing that he does, about all of his mannerisms and stuff that are reflected in his writing. But I am noticing something here that I was sort of guessing on the previous page, is that he started to feel a little bit more upbeat, more high spirited when he wrote this second page. You can tell in several details here, but the first one is that his writing is more straight than in his previous page, and also he uses more force when he was writing. In the previous page, you could see his writing being already noticeable in the other side of the page. This page, you could almost read it from the other side of the page. And I was guessing, since I hadn't read it, I was guessing what he could be writing here, and I am noticing that I was right. He is using more force, and also the things that he is writing here make sense, because he's talking all about his dimensional, like, multi-universe merge Magi-Chan crap. So I'm guessing that makes him feel very accelerated, and that's his escapism. That is his fantasy. That is his way to cope, and that is his sort of matrix where he can submerge himself and have control and just have everybody looking at him. And for example, even me here, I'm here interpreting his handwriting. I mean, that just imagine what kind of ego boost he gets from all the attention that he is receiving from people like us, like me, just talking about him and reading into his delusions and all that shit. So he's like writing his lore here, and you can feel it. That makes him more emotionally like uplifted. And even his handwriting is more straight, and the speed of his writing is also like faster, because he's probably, whenever you're really excited about something and you kind of rush doing things, that's what you can see here. Again, he's feeling his ego being like inflated tremendously here. So this is getting exciting. This is getting interesting. Let me see what he said here. Shall remain for the future of all Pokemon: Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, Ratchet, Clank, Neptune, Blanc, Noir, Barrett, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, Eric Cartman, Tsukino Usagi, Goku, Inuyasha, and Kagome Papa's Papa's Merv. He doesn't use this is like Gumball, Waters, S&T, whoever that is, Lightning Blitz, Dr. Wolf, Princess Star Butterfly, and Marco Diaz, Optimus Prime, Autobots, Sunclair, and Christian, Tony Stark, Iron Man, Bruce Wayne, Batman, Diana, Wonder Woman, Priscilla, Lisa Simpson, Sunset Skinner, Princess Twilight, Sparkle, Raven, Jenny Walker Man, XJ9, Danny Phantom, Fox McCloud. Ooh, Fox McCloud. The Jedi. Just the Jedi. I mean, who cares? Just all of them. All of them. Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan, Luke Skywalker, Kid Fisto, Adi Mundi, fucking everybody. Captain Kirk, and so and such on into all present-day existence, original and fictional characters, including the majority of all of you OCs in 12 to 18 Earth here, and myself, Christine. We all continue our greatest, partially immortal steed, mutual chronicling and a life, self and love forevermore. Okay, that was that was something. Okay. So it was just all a huge wall of text of names. I lost my train of thought. So what was he talking about? What was all those names before the? Okay, so so, the, so what? Why is he referring to those characters again? Let me let me go back, because I just sort of went into a warp of dimensional, like, I just lost my train of thought when all that avalanche of names. Let me see. Okay. I just checked. So he's basically referring that all of those characters are like watching the happenings, and they're basically just like waiting for the. It doesn't matter. What matters is that I was right. In this letter, he's not talking about of his like reality, of his state in prison, of anything that is actually happening to him. It's talking about his fantasies, and that made him feel better, and that was reflected on his mood, and he changed his handwriting from his previous page. Talking about all of his escapist fantasies makes him feel a huge ego boner, like immense boner. So yeah, basically anything else that I can think adding here, besides everything else that I have being saying throughout all of the other pages that he has written so far, is that just you can see all of the adrenaline and excitement that it makes him feel, all of the the energy explosions that he feels writing certain things, certain names. Who the hell is Marco Diaz, by the way? Who are a lot of those characters? I don't know them, a lot of them. But the only thing that sort of is slightly more interesting here is that that part below, almost at the end, in inherited steed, in immortal steed. What is? I don't read it. I'm probably dumb. I'm probably dumb as fuck, and I can't. It's probably a very obvious word, and I just can't read it. But besides that, you can see that I can't really put my finger on it, but he felt very unsure while writing that. Very small compared to the rest of the writing that he has been doing. He has been writing fairly clearly with his trademark of invasiveness. Not even that much when you really see it, when you really pay close attention. Mm. Here's something interesting. Remember that if you have seen the rest of the videos that I have been making so far, one thing that you've probably heard me say like 50 times during every single video is that how invasive he tends to be, and how is that reflected on his handwriting. Well, because when people have invasive tendencies, they tend to have trouble separating words. It all looks like it's stuck together, but there's something that I just noticed here. So in those past times I have talked about how letters are psychologically, they represent people and things and aspects of yourself. And so, for example, the way you write letters represents the way you tend to treat people and the way you handle situations. So you can see it here, for example, in his previous writings when he's talking about other situations and people, especially when he's talking about people, he tends to not leave space between letters. He tends to write words very close to each other, which means he doesn't really respect other people that much. Again, nothing new. There is Chris, you already know that. But notice how his invasiveness is not as present in this page as it is in the past pages. That's very curious. And he's talking about basically this whole page was just a wall of names, of fictional names. Names that he has chosen because he probably likes them. He probably likes those characters. They mean something for him in order to have included them and chosen them instead of other characters. And he respects the spaces. He respects fictional characters. In his mind, fictional characters deserve like more consideration, and he respects them more than people. That is another glimpse into his state of mind. And okay, well, besides that, a lot of the things that you can see here, I've already said them, so I don't want to just keep repeating myself a million times. Okay, thanks, bye.